morning. Today is the special meeting for the Sybil Brand Commission for Institutional Inspections. It's Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. It is 10:22 a.m. And we are going to officially call this meeting to order, beginning with the Los Angeles County Land Acknowledgement. County of Los Angeles recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, Tataviam, Serrano, Quiche, and Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of Los Angeles County. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these ancestral lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native peoples and local tribal governments, including in no particular order, the Fernandinho Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, the Gabrieleno Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrieleno Band of Mission Indians Quiche Nation, the Yuha Viatam of San Manuel Nation, San Fernando Band of Mission Indians, the Coastal Band of Chumash Nation, the Gabrielino Tongva Nation, the Gabrielino Tongva Tribe. To learn more about the First Peoples of Los Angeles County, please visit the Los Angeles City/County Native American Indian Commission website at lanaic.lacounty.gov. All right, can we please do a roll call?
Yes, Chairperson Haley Broder.
Present.
Immediate past Chairperson Raymond Regalado.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Winter Dax is absent. Commissioner Puja Bhatia. Here. Commissioner Catherine Hennigan Ohanesian.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Joanna Terones.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Pamela Bell Thompson.
Here.
Thank you. And Commissioner Mary Burrell is absent. We do have an in-person forum present. Chair.
Thank you so much. Okay, this is going to be a very quick special meeting. Appreciate you all being here and rolling with the change in time and date. We also want to say thank you to Commissioner Thompson Bell for doing your first inspection and officially becoming part of SBC. We also have a new commissioner that will hopefully be joining us at our next meeting. That is Commissioner Yana Grammer, who was just confirmed by the board and is pending, I think, processing to be part of the commission and should be at our next meeting. So excited to have Commissioner Grammer be joining us as well, and then we will just have one vacancy on SD5. I am going to change how we have this structured briefly today, and we're going to start with item 2, administrative matters, and we're going to start with item number 5, discussion and appropriate action on the Los Angeles County Sybil Brand Commission for Institutional Inspections. Report back to the Board of Supervisors, February 3rd, 2026, addressing water quality and safety and other hazardous environmental issues in the Los Angeles County Jails board motion. We have in your packet the report back that was written by the commission to send to the board, and I would like to make a motion for us to file and send this report to the board.
I second the motion to file and send the report.
Thank you.
Second by Commissioner Terones. There were no edits to that, right? To the report? Is there anybody needed to add before we move on to public comment?
Everybody feels okay about the report?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. All right, so we'll move on to public comment. If there are any members of the public who wish to provide virtual public comment, please press *3. Using a smart device or computer, please use the raise hand feature. Okay, we do have virtual public comment from Governor Anastasia last name K. You have 2 minutes. Please state your name for the record. You are unmuted. Hi, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Anastasia Comaras. I live in Malibu, California. I am currently still a candidate for governor of California and declared nonpartisan president of the United States 2026. 28, excuse me, 28. So I'm watching your meeting, and there was a lot of concern here in Malibu about what happens to these girls. So I'm watching you and recording this so I can turn it around. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that concludes virtual public comment. There are no in-person members of the public present for in-person public comment, and we did not receive any written public comment. I'll move on to the vote. Chairperson Haley Broder.
Yes.
Immediate past Chairperson Raymond Regalado.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Winter Daggs is absent. Commissioner Puja Bhatia.
Yes.
Commissioner Catherine Hennigan Ohanesian.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanna Terones.
Yes.
Commissioner Pamela Bell Thompson.
Yes.
And Commissioner Commissioner Mary Burrell is absent. This motion does pass.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, we'll move to item number 4, receive and file the minutes for the meeting of April 7th. Do we have a motion to file those minutes? Were the commissioners able to review the minutes? Yeah. And Joe, you were good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to receive and file the minutes?
Commissioner Regalado makes a motion to file, receive minutes.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Fernandez.
Thank you. We'll move on to the virtual public comment. If there are any members of the public who wish to provide virtual public comment, please press star 3. If you're using a smart device or computer, please use the raise hand feature. Okay, so we don't have any virtual public comment on this item. We did not receive any written public comment, and there's no in-person members of the public present for in-person public comment. I'll move on to the vote. Chairperson Haley Broder.
Yes.
Immediate past Chairperson Raymond Regalado.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Winter Daggs is absent. Commissioner Puja Bhatia.
I'm going to abstain only because I wasn't at that meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner Catherine Hennigan Ohanesian.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanna Terones.
Yes.
Commissioner Pamela Bell Thompson.
Yes.
And Commissioner Mary Burrell is absent. This motion is carried.
Thank you so much. Moving to item number 3, Chairperson's report on correspondence received and monthly activities. Quick note that your June assignments have been sent out. Please coordinate to complete your 2 inspections this month. Our next meeting is on July 2nd. I wanted to get a quorum count right now. If you are able to make the July 2nd meeting, can you just raise your hand right now?
I just, by 11:30.
By 11:30, okay. And so we need to check with Commissioner Burrell. I believe she is able to make it. And I believe Commissioner Daggs is also able to make it, but we'll have to double check. So everybody in the room is able to make it, and hopefully we'll also have Commissioner Grammer there as well. So we are right now good to go for July 2nd for our regular meeting. Thank you.
I just may interrupt. If you all can please kindly reply to the emails and the phone calls and messages and text messages that we gave you all regarding quorum. That would be wonderful.
It would be.
Thank you so much.
And update as soon as you possibly can. Really appreciate Commission Services' work in coordinating this meeting and making this happen. I know a lot of work went into that, and it's very appreciated. And appreciate all of Commission Services' work right now to make sure we can all get meetings and be contacted to attend. So thank you. Quick note, we received correspondence from a mother who was very concerned about her son at MCJ. And Commissioner Bhatia and I went and spoke with that son this morning, and that will be noted in our June inspection, the follow-up, but we will also follow up directly with the mother. Anything else I should know?
Was he okay?
I wouldn't say he's okay. I wouldn't say anybody in MCJ is okay.
I know. Yeah, but certainly not doing well.
Not doing great. Yeah, so we'll follow up with Correctional Health Services, and we'll follow up, follow up. And we will talk about that inspection at the July meeting. Am I missing anything else?
Let's see.
A couple other committee chairpersons report things. The annual report should be sent out today by Commission Services. And we are in the process of building out a new commissioner training guide that should also be coming out to you all soon, that goes through how to conduct inspections and locations and things like that. So that'll also be a draft for anyone to add things to. If anyone has anything that they would like to share one-on-one regarding best practices, then we can share those with commissioners when we conduct inspections. What we've been doing is making sure that the new commissioners who are going to conduct inspections obviously are not doing it alone and are not doing with somebody else brand new, so that they're able to know where to go, how to conduct the inspection, all of that fun stuff. So I remember when I was first appointed and I didn't know even what all of the different facilities that we could go into were and where to park and all that fun stuff. So we'll make sure that the new commissioners have all of that information and are not alone in it.
Also provide them, and like it would be then helpful to me, like with the questions we need to ask the watch commander, like the count and everything. Okay, that would be super helpful.
That is there. Yes.
It seems to me that sometimes we receive at these locations with, kind of with a tainted eye from some of the staff and how we navigate that, and if it makes it difficult for inspections, how we might be able to talk to or talk to someone, up the chain of command, so that we can make sure that, we have that hesitancy, to be able to go in there and do our inspections effectively and efficiently.
That is a question we posed to the Sheriff's Department after our last meeting, and we'd like to follow up on before the July meeting, and we can put it on the July meeting's notes for the discussion with Sheriff of how the Sheriff is communicating with line staff about the SBC's inspections and what the responsibilities are, because there have been a lot of issues lately with non-escorts being allowed or us not being allowed into facilities. For example, Commissioner Sharonis and I had a hard time getting into IRC last week or the week before. They had no idea what SBC was and didn't want to let us in. We were like, look it up, it's our badge. And I think we were there for probably 10, 15 minutes waiting for him to authorize us to get in. So there's issues like that coming up quite a bit, and also issues where the watch commanders aren't sure what their responsibilities are once we're there. So for example, this morning with Commissioner Baca and I, the watch commander came to the row we were inspecting and, wanted to make sure that we were safe. There's some things we should follow up on there. Okay, that is it for item 3 for me. Can we open it for public comment, please?
Yes, if there are any, so now we'll move on to virtual public comment. If there are any members of the public who wish to provide virtual public comment, please press *3. If you're using a smart device or computer, please use the raise hand feature. All right. Governor Anastasia, you are unmuted. You have 2 minutes. Hello? Hello? Okay. We'll come back to you if that changes, okay? Okay, are there any other virtual public comments? All right, so that concludes virtual public comment. We did listen to written public comment, and there are no in-person members of the public present for in-person public comment.
All right, thank you. We move to item number 1, reports on detention facilities. We will skip and move to the July meeting, the April 21st IRC inspection by Commissioner Daggs and Commissioner Morrell, as they are both absent. Commissioner Bell-Thompson, would you like to share anything from our MCJ inspection from May 15th? That was with me and with Commissioner Morrell. And that was your first inspection. I know you just took a bite also, so I can begin, and then we will come over to you if you'd like. We inspected MCJ. We went,
Real quick, it's me and Winter that was on the last report.
Oh, it's
anything back to
incorrect.
what you want, yeah.
It says Mary. It's not supposed to say
it's
Mary.
me and Winter, yeah.
Oh, so let's make a note
For
for
IRC on April 21st?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's go to you on that then, please. Let's make a note for Commission Services to change that and go to Joe.
So me and Winter went to IRC Old Port Line, and main concerns there is leaky ceilings with trash cans placed to collect water, excessively cold temperatures, accumulation of trash everywhere in common areas, and just dilapidated cells with multiple non-functioning toilets and sinks. We asked the deputies about their body-worn cameras, and they said they only activate them when certain situations like there's tension or there's a man down or potential incriminating situations. We did observe them wearing the body cam, but they were not actively turned on, and when we asked them, they said no, they're not. No dinner had been distributed, even though we had passed by one of the halls and there was 3 food bins full. And the deputy said that the reason is because they were waiting for a trustee, and that we do it in 30-minute increments. We went to a holding cell where court line, they had just come back from court, there was about 25 to 30 men inside, and they had been there for 4 hours, and in that cell there was no running water, no access to any water, no food had been provided, there was a clogged non-functional toilet, and it was just packed in there. And then in a separate cell there was another man who was asking us, can you please move me out of this cell or help me, because there was human feces in the corner on the floor, and they had just covered it with a trash can. And so we have flies kind of all over us, and we were towards the beginning of the cell. There was also no working sink or running water in that one. And he was unaware of like if he was gonna be in that cell or not. So I went and I let the deputies know, can you please move him? They were like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and do that. And then they did acknowledge again the delay in the food distribution and pretty much saying like, well, we don't, it's usually the trustee that does it, so we're just gonna wait on the trustee to feed them or give them any kind of food. And those are the main concerns.
Thank you so much. Mr. Thompson-Bell, anything you'd like to share for MCJ?
Yeah, so the main concerns that the guys had when we went and did our inspection was none of the TVs was working. There was a significant amount of dust and dirt around the cell, what do you call them, the windows? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the bars had kind of windows and glass in them, and that glass was just full of dirt. It was disgusting.
Some of the empty cells had trash and it looked like feces on the floor, and a lot of the guys were saying that they never come through when they ask for medical forms. They don't never come, they just speed through the cells, they don't stop. We had a 66-year-old guy on the top bunk that had he had previous I believe it was hip surgery, and he was trying to get back to medical to get a lower bump. And same thing with the water issues. That was pretty much.
We also ran into an issue where a deputy instructed us that we weren't allowed to go into certain areas, and the supervisor allowed it, but then said that he had to be present. When we brought this to the watch commander said we can obviously go wherever we need to go. But it was very strange and seemed like this was the area in the jail where former Commissioner Miller and I had walked into where the deputies were watching porn. And so it was the same area they were preventing us from going into. Felt strange. Also behind the cells, it was like full of sewage and it smelled disgusting. There was also an individual who needed a CPAP and had the CPAP approved, but needed distilled water to be used in that CPAP and had kept getting that denied. So couldn't use the CPAP because he was getting sick from using the cell water. And that goes to show the water conditions within the jails continuing as an issue. We are hearing quite a bit about the water issues as a whole. We sent a lot of medical concerns over to Dr. Henderson and Correctional Health Services, and they were able to follow up. Anything else? No. Thank you. Next we have CRDF inspection, Commissioner Daggs and Commissioner Terrones, May 19th. Anything you'd like to share?
So we went to 3800. When we walked in, there was half of the lower tier team. They were in the day room. The other half was still in their cells. Overall concerns, day room sinks, they've been out of order for 1 month, so they're not having access to water. However, the water we know is horrible there. Continued complaints regarding worms and gnats and pests within the water pipes in the housing units. Brown colored water still coming out from sinks and showers. We followed up with the women about bottled water. They said that it had only been distributed during dinner approximately 2 weeks ago once. hot water turns off intermittently. Ventilation system's hot, and then the cells are really hot, but the day room is super cold. This was the main concern that we had too, is the ADA shower observed with broken tile, creating a slip and fall hazard. There's also mold observed on the ADA shower on the ceiling. And what ends up happening is that when they shower, the mold condensation just drops on their body, and obviously creating health concerns. First floor shower head reportedly was malfunctioning. We went to see it, it was. And the females there, they improvised in making a makeshift spout using a sanitary pad. Multiple individuals reported that there was a roach that was allegedly found in one of the spaghetti dinners. They said that a deputy took a picture of it, however, they just don't know what happened. And they also did not replace any of the food that day. They pretty much said that is your meal. And then just continued complaints regarding food contamination concerns. Insufficient trash bags, they're asking for rags to be able to clean. Ongoing complaints about commissary pricing, so a soda is like $3.24, a honey bun is about $4. And they mentioned there's shampoos frequently unavailable for them to purchase. Numerous complaints about like delayed medical responses and having access to healthcare services ranging from 2 weeks to 2 months. There was a female, one of the incarcerated women we spoke to, she said she had been constipated for 11 days. She had made multiple medical requests. She said that in order for me to get medical, I had to refuse to return to my cell in order to receive medical attention. She was seen and the issue was resolved. There was another woman that we spoke to. She was bleeding excessively for the past 8 days. She was worried. She had requested medical assistance multiple times, and they told her, well, you're not hemorrhaging, so you're okay, and sent her back. And so her fear is the amount of blood loss that she's experiencing, and her bedding is being repeatedly ruined because she's bleeding consistently. And so we sent an email regarding that to Dr. Henderson. Also to the deputy speaking to the individuals disrespectfully and threatening to revoke gate room access as punishment. That's not the first time we've heard it. It's been multiple areas of the jail. And then they did want to give the names for fear of retaliation, which is, again, we've heard that in the past. And then another concern that came up was visitation. There was one person that she had not received any in-person visits since July of 25 and has only been on video visitations. The other women also mentioned that their concern with visits, they had just one of them recently went to a visit, and one of the family members or the loved one passed out because it's so hot in the visiting area. So I think we should probably hit the visiting area.
Yep, that's concerning. Very concerning. Thank you. And disgusting. Just so gross. Thank you. Commissioner Hennigan, can you share on your CRDF inspection on May 26th, please?
Yeah, Commissioner Burrell and I inspected CRDF on 5/26, and we were there for about 2 hours. We went to modules 1300, 3400, 2500. We reported urgent issues to the Watch Commander Mejia after we concluded our inspection, and wanted to flag a couple of issues for you as well. Overall, it was a positive one of the better ones. Both Commissioner Burrell and I have had as commissioners in both dorms. We inspected 3400 and 2500. There were about 50 plus books available for people to read, and the residents of these areas expressed gratitude for them. It'd be great to see this in other facilities, especially at MCJ and NCCF. In 1302, we spoke with MHA workers and patients residents in the 5th step down. The module was very clean and offered activities for women to address their mental health issues. The MHAs said communication with LASD regarding the patients is very good, but lingering problems remain with CHS. We are hopeful the department can continue to expand these areas and programming for people with SMI. We also went to 3100. There was no Narcan available in module 3400 and 2500. When we went to 2500, Cell 4, a toilet did not work. It was wrapped in plastic. A woman who lived there said she had knocked on the door and asked to be let out of the day room when she needed to use the bath. She needed to knock on the door to get let out to use the restroom. 2,500 water in several cells smelled like rotten eggs, and Commissioner Morale and I observed worms in the water. A woman in 2,500 had lice, so a shower had been closed off because she had used it and it wasn't cleaned afterwards. There were only 2 showers available for the entire dorm. Those were the major issues.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very concerning to me that that's considered a good inspection.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it is,
Yeah.
and it's concerning. It's still horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last inspection is my inspection with Commissioner Torres of the IRC on May 26th. This one we went throughout the full process. I'm going to say a couple things and then if you want to chime in. As I mentioned, they couldn't verify us at the control for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. There was Family Guy or Rick and Morty, some TV show playing on the computer screen at the entrance. There was another area where they're watching a movie with multiple deputies sitting around watching it. We heard that there was an escape from IRC the day before with an inmate leaving from the court bus for about an hour before LAPD brought them back. So there were concerns about safety and coordination there. We were told 30 bodies, quote, went to court today. So that is continuing. We were very impressed by Deputy Florine and how he handled a seriously mentally ill incarcerated person who had a bag over his head. The deputy went and talked to him and was able to retrieve the bag from that cell. And then when the incarcerated person put a trash can then over his head, the deputy also went and was able to retrieve the trash can and kind of help him stabilize. We loved to see how that was handled well. We also saw the new mental health area in use in IRC, and we saw that there was really no privacy being used at all for evaluations. There was a couple incarcerated people who were strapped to the new, safe, trauma-informed, in quotes, chairs, and there was a clinician who came out to do an assessment probably for about 10 minutes, just like straight in the center area with no privacy. There are booths, there are areas that they can go. This was conducted right on the floor in front of multiple deputies, everyone walking by, etc., which concerned us. There are also a lot of questions from incarcerated people about what the process was, what the steps are. If you've been through IRC, you know that it's a complicated line of different activities that take place to get them into their housing. And we recommended that things be labeled, that there be signage, that there be some sort of indication of what the process is, because people are saying, am I going to medical now? Why am I getting an x-ray? Can I use the phone? When do I get to use the phone? When am I going to get housed? Who am I seeing next? And so there's a lot of confusion of like, okay, what's the process? And so we recommended having a sign with labels of this is what happens and this is what. The only signs in there say like, no talking, exclamation point. Mm-hmm. But like, if we had actual signage that provided information on what's happening, we think that that would be fantastic. Commissioner Torres, anything to add?
No, I think you hit all of it.
What was that?
You hit all of it.
Oh, okay. We shared that information with the watch commander.
Can I just make a note? Sorry, going back to Commissioner Torres's April IRC report. So I pulled up the body-worn camera policy that LASD sent over, and I think this is good for all of us to know if we ever get a response that they're only supposed to turn body-worn camera during incidents. It actually says, when feasible and safe to do so, custody personnel shall activate their BWC prior to initiating or upon arrival at any. It includes use of forces, report of crime, allegations of staff misconduct, but it also includes searches of housing or common areas, safety checks, counts, escorts or inmate movement, escorts, extractions. So it's way broader than incidents, and I think we should quote it back to them if that's ever the case. And if we need commission services sent it to us on May 21st, it'll also be on the LASD tracker that I'll share, but I think we should definitely, it's policy 3-06. 055.15.
If it's safety check from you, they should be having it on every.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
there
and
should be
it's a
footage.
shall.
I'm in this meeting right now, and I'm thinking of hearing you. So listen, so it's nonpartisan, president 2020, right? Listen, the internet is like so screwed up in this thing. So there's this place in Malibu, like dealing with this stuff, and so the internet's all screwed up. So I don't know. I can talk to you.
Okay, go ahead. Can you hear us? Hi, sorry about the interruption. Can you hear us?
Hello, are you talking to Anastasia Kamaras?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm paying attention, but your internet feed was, or the internet was bad. So I'm just watching. I'm Anastasia Kamaras, currently governor candidate, but at the same time nonpartisan president of in 2028. Thank you very much. Continue doing a good job. I'm watching you guys, and I want you to take care of the girls here in Malibu. Thank you.
Okay. Berkeley Donovan, you are unmuted. You have 2 minutes.
Hi y'all, good morning. This is Berkeley Donovan. I'm with ACLU SoCal. Sorry I couldn't be there in person today, but thank you for these reports per usual. I just wanted to highlight a couple things that were noted by the commissioners, which is that no TVs working inside MCJ is not just a trivial issue, but it's part of their essentially recreation time. It's something to do, it's something to pay attention to, and to distract from where they are. So it's important that TVs are working. I'm also generally concerned about a lack of response in terms of when folks request medical forms. This covers, so many issues, our ADA folks, but just anybody who needs medical treatment, and they should not be denied at any point. And looped in with that, it's discouraging to hear that folks are still having fears of retaliation just for bringing issues to deputies. I think that also speaks to the issue of needing to relay the need for medical assistance to a non-medical staff member, and the issues in the communication between those two entities inside the jails. And I specifically want to call out from the CRDF May 19 report, the 3,800 ADA shower having broken tiles, mold on the ceiling, and condensation that drops onto folks that are, trying to actively get clean, but also the ADA mobility impaired folks are not able to do so when tiles are broken and they're not able to safely access their shower. So ideally an alternative is being provided to them, but this is the ADA shower on that floor, so that is concerning. And thank you so much for always bringing to light the issues of deputies being distracted by watching TV shows and movies and less, paying attention to the population that they are in charge of caring for. Thank you.
Thank you, Berkeley. Okay, that concludes virtual public comment. We do not receive any written public comment. There are no in-person members of the public present for in-person public comment. Chair?
Thank you so much. I would like to move to item 3, miscellaneous, for open public comment.
All right, now we'll move on to general public comment. If there are any members of the public who wish to provide general virtual public comment, please press star 3. If you're using a smart device or computer, please use the raise hand feature. Okay, so we don't have any virtual public comment. We did not receive any general written public comment, and there are no in-person members of the public present for in-person general public comment. Chair?
Thank you so much. I would like to move on to item 7, which is adjournment, and I would like to adjourn by recognizing the 3 deaths that have occurred in the Los Angeles County jails since our last meeting. That is the death of an individual at MCJ who was a 68-year-old man who was pre-sentenced pending final autopsy report. That is the death of a 45-year-old man at the hospital and intensive care unit who is pre-sentenced, who's pending final autopsy report as well. And the death of a 48-year-old man who was at NCCF who died in the living area of 622, who was partially sentenced, and we are still pending his final autopsy report as well. So we will adjourn by noting that deaths are for young individuals who we want to make sure prevent deaths. I'm not sure, I can check. So 20. Too many deaths in the LA County jails. We will adjourn in their memory, and we will continue to do the work of inspecting these jails and helping push LASD to do the right thing and take care of the people in their custody. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.